Let's just get started with introductions. I'll kick it off. My name is Scott Harrell. My business is Lifetree Prosperity. I'm a business consultant and financial advisor based in Long Beach. I work with business owners and affluent families. Anybody's looking to get their retirement situation in order, and that includes preparing for Social Security, converting retirement income into lifetime income, or retirement savings into lifetime income. And I'm also looking to meet anybody who works with business owners, including CPAs, consultants, fractional executives. And I'm happy to talk with anybody. I'd love to have a one-on-one if we haven't yet done so. So I'm next going to hand it over to Betty Withrow. Good morning, Betty. Tell us all about yourself.
Okay, good morning, Scott, and hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Betty Withrow. I do all things writing, and I'm called the Writer's Launchpad for that very reason. I am a ghostwriter. I write content, I edit, I coach authors, and I coordinate with other marketing professionals such as Roy Dickham, who's in this meeting, to create solutions for businesses that give them what they really need. And so I'm excited because I always get to work with lots of different people doing different things. If you need content for your business, call on me and I will construct some persuasive materials for you that will engage people and make them want to get to know you. And I could go on and on, but I'm not going to because I only get 1 minute. So thank you, everybody. Happy Friday.
Thank you so much. Always great to see you. Next up, Jim Hostler. Good morning, Jim.
That unmute button. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jim Hostler, registered Social Security analyst, and I have basically two domains of people that I'm looking for. One is direct to consumer. Anybody looking to see what their Social Security is? I provide a personalized analysis with that. Takes into account their earnings, so it's personal. And the Social Security Administration can only answer questions, so think of that garbage in, garbage out, respectfully, and where I provide the analysis and expert advice and support. And then the second one is I'm looking for associations or businesses to offer my services as consultant and the analysis as a business benefit or an association benefit. Very, 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 very small monthly minimum fee and a discount on services. So good to be with everybody. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and there you go. Scott, I think we need to talk.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah. And I'm assuming that based on your location, you're able to do most of this remotely.
I do it all remotely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
We live in San Miguel de Allende, and then I go back and see the kids up in Chicago periodically, but thank God for Zoom.
Yeah. What a nice opportunity. Really great to hear that, and welcome back. Everybody, don't forget to post your contact info in the chat. Next up, Phil Wolstein. Good morning, Phil. We missed you last week.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I unfortunately, my 96-year-old father passed and had a great, fabulous life and lived on terms right to the end there. But sorry to miss last week's meeting there. Phil Wolstein with Zoom Business Brokers. I'm a certified business broker, and what I do is I help business owners find qualified buyers for their business. And that is, as I have said many, many times, it's a process. It isn't an event. A lot of people think, business owners or sellers think that when they're ready to sell, well, someone's just going to buy it. Or I know a few guys within a 3-mile radius that told me a year ago that they were interested in my business. That's not how it typically, I'd say that's not how it gets done. Early planning, exit planning, working with business coaches, business advisors, your CPA, ideally 36 months in advance of actually going to market and selling the business would be the ideal. That's what it should be done. It's not what I do. I'm the business broker. I'm the guy that does a broker opinion of value. What is a business worth? Arm's length to a qualified buyer in today's market, right? And then list the business, market the business, vet the buyers, go through due diligence, conditions release, working with landlords for the sale of the property or lease assumption, transition, assignment into escrow and a close, typically a 7 to 9 month process. And a lot of moving parts, always working as a team member, And that's why I value this group so highly, because met and become friends and worked with a lot of the professionals in this group as part of a team to list and sell a business and get it done. That's what I do.
I want to tack on to Phil's comment that I had a client who sold her business of 31 years. She did not take my advice and talk to Phil. A year later, the buyer went belly up. She was left financing the sale because she didn't get good advice. Call Phil.
And unfortunately, I'm afraid we're going to see more and more and more of that. And I hope that all of us together collectively can help some business owners and sellers really avoid that. Plan for it, be ready, have an exit strategy and a plan. Latest poll I posted on LinkedIn. I know I'm taking a minute longer, Scott, here, but I posted this on LinkedIn. I think it was about a week and a half ago. Latest poll by IBVA on a quarterly basis reports this. Close to 70% of all small business owners and entrepreneurs, and I'm talking in the 1 to 3 million or 1 to 5 million range, have no exit plan, no exit strategy, have done nothing to prepare for the sale of their business. And the 10% additional, so about 80%, those additional 10% that do some planning, it's within 12 months. So, and obviously it's an inverted pyramid. It should be the opposite way around. The need is tremendous. There's a great need out there for business coaching, business advisory services, preparation, so that when it comes to me, I actually can do my job and market and sell it and get the goodwill and the value out of that business for the seller.
Fantastic. Another situation that I come across is people who are making assumptions about how, when they sell their business, that's going to create their retirement. And they left out a couple of key components, including types of insurance. So if they have a disabling injury, they end up losing the business instead of making those strategic exits like people like Phil and I can help you with.
I love this conversation, because while we're doing this, it's like the big pieces of the puzzle, and it becomes clear as to I think there's some echo in there. I'm not sure if someone's got a phone on. As we talk, to me, it becomes clear how we work together, how you can put together a virtual team to serve the interests of that business owner and seller, and the buyer as well.
To serve the interests of that business owner and seller, and the buyer as well.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting. So I'm going to ask, if you're not speaking, if you could
That's interesting. So
yourselves.
You're not speaking. If you
Yeah, it's basically Bob. Bob is connected on 2 devices, so it's coming out of his one device and back into our conversation with his mic.
So it's coming out of his one device and back into our conversation with his mic open.
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow. Yeah, we're getting a delay, so maybe.
Wow.
This is
Yeah, we're
crazy.
getting a delay, so maybe.
Okay. Can everybody mute for a second?
Okay,
Yeah, basically, Scott, you want to use co-host privilege and mute Bob?
yeah, basically, Scott, you want to use co-host privilege and mute Bob?
I'm actually not the host, so.
I'm trying.
Oh, okay. There's not a co-host.
Actually,
Yeah,
not
so
the
Bob's
host,
got to
so-
mute himself then.
Oh, okay, there's not a co-host. Yes,
Or
Bob's gotta mute
Jim's the
himself.
host. Okay.
Or Jim's the host. Okay.
Bob, can you mute yourself? Okay, let's see if that's gone away now. Okay, we found the guilty party. We'll figure that one out. Next up, Kurt Roskoff. Good morning, Kurt.
All right. Good morning. I am out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When you say cheese, taking those pictures, you've said Wisconsin. And I am passionate about marketing through technology and events such as this. And I come in here with 4 free things you can do to get into my lane and tap my networks for your benefit. You're seeing No Card, Easy Expo, the live streaming podcasting I'm doing where you can be a guest and showcase what you do. And then plus, I'd be remiss if I didn't invite you to be a free member to the Happy Co-op, the happiest place in the world for business people. Back to you.
I love it. I hope you've provided links for that stuff. And let's do a one-on-one soon, okay? Thank you very much. Good to see you here. Russell Lookadoo. Good morning, Russell.
Buenos dias, folks, and glad to be here. I'm Russell Lookadoo with H Architecture. I'm the HR guy for small business. Basically, I work with business owners to align their team with their dream. So if you've got employees, you've got headaches, the key for a referral to me is that business owner going, my employees are driving me nuts. Or the employees are saying, you got to talk to my boss. Well, we got to get the boss on the phone. But people, you hire the right people, you need to make sure that's good. People want to be successful. So if they fail, it's the leader's fault, not the employee.
And I'm sure they're the first to admit it, right? Thank you so much. Next up, Bill Schweber. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. I do IT data forensics. It's a pleasure to be here. And what can I tell you? I've got something planned with Roy for Monday. Russell, you never linked in for a one-to-one with me.
I didn't see an invite, but shoot me one and we'll do that. And by the way, I had a good one-on-one with Jim the other day. So,
and Phil, let me ask you a question. Do you do both sides of the coin?
both sides.
How do you mean?
You deal with both buyers and sellers of businesses?
I do. I would characterize myself as a listing broker. I've recently done some exclusive buyer reps and done some deals, but that's not my main focus. But yes, I can do both sides. I typically act as a dual agent in the transaction, represent both the buyer and the seller.
And you work with all the attorneys and accountants lots of times to evaluate the value of the business? Or you do
Not so
some
much the value, not so much the value. I work with CPAs a lot to work with in preparing a broker opinion of value, but attorneys are mainly for contractual issues, prepare whether it's APAs or stock purchase agreements or transactional agreements that evolve from an LOI. So I'm always working with attorneys in most deals, but everyone's a little different, but sure.
Okay, so reach out to me. I know a ton of attorneys and accountants all over the country.
Right. And I was thinking we've got a couple. As you're just talking, I've got one guy I'd like to introduce you with in Zoom Business. He specializes in software services, online e-commerce businesses and IT related businesses, SaaS type transactions. That's his specialty. And I think he'd be a good contact for you to talk to.
Okay. But let's do a one-on-one. Let's not rob it. Let's give a half an hour, get to know each other better.
All right, sounds great.
And for those who don't know, that's software as a service. Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Phil. Next up, Linda Blair. Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Linda Blair. I have over 25 years in marketing and advertising. I'm a certified Google partner and internet marketing business software expert. I help small to medium-sized business owners streamline and grow their business all through my technology platform called Thrive. So what we do is we take over 25 different apps, combine it into one that includes over 500 different features. Your messages, your calendar, payments, social media, and reviews can be seen all in one glance. With immediate notifications, you'll also constantly be aware of the state of your company. It's a CRM on steroids, basically. So like we help with customer management. So with all your database for appointments, you can send emails and text. We take all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, Google, and combine it into one. You do one post, it pushes it out to everywhere. We'll even do the post for you. Online listing managements to monitor your reputation out there. Website redesign and updates to provide a greater user experience, regardless of the device people are using. Ongoing client support. Anyway, all these features and tools in one platform without having to duct tape everything together. And for the group today, I'm giving out a free digital marketing and local SEO analysis. So DM me if you'd like that. Thanks.
Wow, That sounds amazing. Just a
Mm.
couple of quick questions on the size businesses. What would be your typical size business, number of employees, revenue that you engage with?
You know, I have the platform basically fits any kind of a business. I work with plumbers who have 20 trucks because it will do their invoicing and estimates for all their repair people. I have people that are coaches or accountants, notaries who are like a one-man shop. So it's kind of like a virtual secretary assistant for them. So it's really like from one man shop to somebody that's got 50 to 100 employees.
Would love to better understand your services and pricing and everything like that. So let's
Yeah.
connect and see. Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
I would just like to add, I got a demo with Linda with the Thrive platform, and it's incredible. So you definitely want to make that appointment. In fact, I'd like to see if we can get her to be a guest speaker soon, because it's really a phenomenal system. So
Yeah, so like half of it's operational and the other half is for your internet presence, helping you on the Google Map Pack. Like a lot of businesses are like, how do I get on that Google Map? It's free. You have to have a Google profile, but Google rewards your business by doing certain things, you know, with your reviews, getting reviews, you know, how are you listed on other sites? They call them citation sites. You know, are you pushing content out? So our platform does all those things that Google is looking for. So you get pushed up in that local SEO ranking. So operational and internet all in one. For as little as like $6 a day. It's like a cup of coffee, you know.
yeah, all right.
I hear somebody in the background. Can you mute yourself?
So something like that, yeah, or at least there's something they can do. Yeah. What's videos? Yeah. So Corey was say.
It ain't me, babe.
Maybe
Okay, silence is golden. Speaking of SEO, next up, Roy Dickin. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Scott. I've been doing SEO for over 14 years. But because of what AI is offering us, we've now developed a lead generation tool that uses AI to produce SEO style leads the same day, as opposed to waiting for 6 months for your SEO to kick in. And so you can get as many leads as you want the same day. You decide how many leads you want. You decide what keywords you want to be found for. And so I'm really happy to be able to offer that.
Yeah.
In order to do it properly, so you really need to have a funnel, because you've got so many leads coming in, or can have, if you choose to, that you want to automate as much as possible. So that's why I like collaborating with Betty and Greg Dixon, because they can do the other part that really helps you turn this into a wonderful return on investment. So it's Roy Dickin. The product's called Conversion Alchemy, and love to talk to you about it, or get a hold of Betty and she'll talk to you about it. Either way.
Fantastic. All righty, next up, looking stylish. It looks like it's a lab coat ready for the tennis court. Kevin Caleb. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning. It actually is ready to head out and hit some balls at the driving range, which I haven't done in probably about 3 months. My clubs don't know me. Hi, I'm Kevin Caleb. Most people know me as Coach K for you. I'm the architect of listening. I love being an advocate for small business. And as I listen to most of the folks here, with each and every one of you, I can bring value. My theory of once and other acronyms is how I deliver our resources. It's a myriad of resources. I've been 40 years in business as an entrepreneur, so there is some connection absolutely with everyone on this call. I'm delighted to hear one-on-one with Linda Blair. I have heard of Thrive. I have seen the Thrive platform, and I really am encouraged by this morning's meeting and the last two that I've missed because I hear about them afterwards. This is why we're really here, to just bring together the best practices that work and help us all stay healthy and keep meat on the table. Today, my positioning now in the group is, hey, I'm the guy that'll help you from a promotional standpoint. Mycity is a great place. I've worked with Bob since 2011, 10, 11, and when I was in Las Vegas. And promotions, hats, caps, shirts, blinky buttons, all that kind of stuff. Millions of products for Spider-Man 1 to the movie, I Spy, Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment, American Intercontinental University in LA, Buckhead, Dunwoody, and Dubai. So I like sitting here at home and having fun, meeting people just like this and finding gaps. So now in the gap that I find here within the group, hi, I'm Coach K. I'll help put your imprint anywhere. Thank you.
Wow. And I can vouch, I'm doing some work with Kevin. He's got some fantastic things happening, some excellent ideas, and he's really a go-getter. So great to see you here. Okay, Bob, tell us all about yourself in 1 to 2 minutes.
That short or that long? I can't tell. All right, so what's launching this week? Hopefully, a referral software is should be back up and running. And just yesterday alone, I did 5 referrals off the software. There's a flaw in it right now, so it's not quite usable. But you know, they say that most people get their business by referral. Are any of you finding that?
Is anybody not finding that?
It's good to hear. Linda, do me a favor, please accept me. I put it in the chat room. I'd like to know more about what you're doing too, so that'd be splendid. So I own a company called Mycity.com. It was one of the top producing most traffic sites in the world. Long story short, venture capitalists became vulture capitalists. I shut it down for many years, and it's now back with a vengeance. We're bringing technology into the world. If my programmers can get caught up with some of the things we do, referrals are essential, right? Anybody disagree with that? Anybody would like to comment on that?
That's why we're here.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, well, I'm really trying to amp up this group, so we can get to another level, and we're looking at more participants joining in on the on what we're doing, and I would love to see people getting more involved in giving referrals. I will let you know when the referral software is up and running. GoDaddy moved us to a faster server. This is where I house everything. And we're having some problems with the technology, but it's getting there. I will announce to everybody once the referral software is up and running, so that you can get recognition on it. So what happens is we take that referral and we post it to the to Google. It creates a lot of activity. Might as well get your recognition for doing that because of the fact that referrals are essential. So anyway, I'm Bob Friedenthal. If you want to get in touch with me, I believe I have my information in the chat room. My phone number 310-736-5787. And we used to do a lot of testimonials. We'd go around the room and people would do testimonials or write their own video, do like a 1 minute, 2 minute video, not even 2 minute. And then what we do is we push people out there for the recognition of, referrals. That's a powerful tool. And I think you all agree with it. So anyway, Bob Friedenthal here. I'm under Karen and Bob Friedenthal in LinkedIn. CARYN.
Thank you, Bob. And speaking of enhancing my city, I forgot to put up my new background screen. How do you guys like that one?
Ooh.
Okay, next up, David Kay. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning, guys. I am David Kay. I am with ADP Retirement Services. I specialize in retirement plans and benefits for small companies and organizations. So, good referral for me would be anybody who is looking to either set up or potentially upgrade their 401k and benefits package for their small business. A good referral for me also would be an advisor, financial advisor, or a CPA or benefits broker, fractional HR, fractional CFO. Russell invited me to this group. So somebody like Russell, or again, a financial advisor who works closely with business owners or small businesses, for instance, would be a good referral. So again, David Kay, working with ADP, 401k plans, and employee benefits packages. I will put my contact information in the chat.
All right, great. Thank you so much, David. Next up, Burke Franklin. I like what you did with the floating menu effect there on your screen, Burke. Looks great.
The floating menu effect?
Yeah, your power tool showing there. It looks great.
Yes, I need to make the gears don't spin on this thing, but they spin everywhere else. Anyway, Burke Franklin Business Power Tools up in Santa Barbara, California. I've got a whole dashboard toolbox full of tools you can use at your fingertips for writing your business plan, or call it your business roadmap or blueprint. We don't want to say business plan, and everybody goes, ooh, business plan. Those are just for startups. Well, they're not. They're for strategic planning. They're for raising capital. They're certainly for selling your business to convince a buyer of the value and the future upside of your business. So there's that. And what does Phil say? Phil say you want to start planning your sale of your business about 3 years ahead of time. So this is a great head start to get that going. And we've also got an employee policy handbook with policies in it for people. A lot of these things are just expensive and time consuming to do, but now you can get it done real fast, cover your ass, and have a lot of these processes and procedures and structure and stuff in place in your business that you need. So take a look at Business Power Tools. I'm happy to give you a tour and show you how it works and what it does and how it'll make your life easier. Thanks.
Yes, cover your assets. Thank you, Burke. Good morning, Patty Lou. Good to see you.
Burke, thanks for making me laugh. Good morning. I'm the best kept secret in sports. I know summertime is coming up and sports parents are signing up their kids for summer activities. They don't even know my services are an option. I increase their chances of getting and keeping an athletic scholarship for college. My clientele has ranged from age 10 to professional athletes. I also work with kids younger on a case-by-case basis. And the best part is the work I can do virtually. You can save time and gas money. Driven to Peak Performance is the name of my company. Great referrals for me are sports parents and athletes themselves.
Awesome. Thank you, Patty. And I see that he's here. There he is. Moshe Math. Good morning, Moshe.
Hi, let me apologize for being late. I just jumped over from a Zoom call watching Ed's wife bought a home in Maryland. I just jumped from their settlement to this meeting, so I apologize for being late.
No worries.
So my name is, I realize I talk about real estate, now I'm going to what I do. My name is Moshe Math. I'm a partner in a company called Neurotrain Sciences. Our system offers what they call sonic massage, which uses sound, light, and vibration, taking your mind and body through a voyage into relaxation through brainwave entrainment. And the example I'll give today is attending it was through the American Association regarding massage and other professionals. And we were at a function, it was on a Friday in Framingham, Massachusetts, which is where it was held each year because that was a midway point. And someone asked me, what does your system do? And I said to her, you see that glass of wine in your hand? And she said, yes. I said, our system does what that does without the calories and the after effects. So we also have other sounds for other modalities. In terms of people who are looking for referrals, I'd like to get involved with, and I did make an attempt to try again, but getting involved with colleges, D1, D2 possibly as well. And the reason for it is because they're doing everything they can to try to keep these athletes going, and the athletes themselves probably wouldn't spend that kind of money. Even if they have it, they'd rather spend on other things, and this can actually enhance them. The other area would be places like besides massage, also spas, because they can add that as something else that they offer to the customer. In fact, if they use that before massage and or other factors such as Reiki, healing touch, or whatever, the people get more out of it because their mind is in a relaxed state. Their body is much more relaxed, so it's more flexible to be able to maneuver into the different positions required. So thank you all for your time.
Okay, thank you. I never stop tiring of just recommending that people try to get a chance to try that chair out. It's amazing. All right, next up, Emily Gomer. Good morning, Emily.
Morning, everybody. I am Emily from here in Wisconsin. I'm a virtual assistant, podcast assistant. Got a number of different projects. So if anybody's looking to be on a podcast, like help starting their own podcast, or need like virtual assistant type assistance, please let me know. Back to you guys. I'll put my
All right.
chat.
Thank you so much, Emily. And we got a guy hiding in the little red box, Corey Northington. Morning, Corey.
Hey, morning, everybody. And happy Friday morning to everybody across the continental U.S. and around the world. Well, my name is Corey Northington. I'm an independent associate of Legal Shield, PPLSI. I help empower business owners and decision makers with the best in legal and identity theft coverage. So in the continental U.S. and Canada. So I've been with my company for almost 15 years now as an independent associate. So we help with everything from unlimited legal consultation to documented contract reviews to RS audit coverage. So through a monthly subscription, you have the ability to access these services, and it's a right benefit. So we also help in employee benefits as well, so we can offer it to our decision makers and what. So hit me up, be glad to help in any way I can. Also a bit of a business connector as well. So I spend part of my days like connecting with different professionals and entrepreneurs across the country as well, setting up collaborative and referral partnerships. So just feel free to reach out to me, be glad to help in any way I can. And I left my information in the chat, and I'll be glad to do it again as well. So for those who came after. So with that, Scott, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you so much. You know, you mentioned that it's a right now benefit, but another great thing about Legal Shield is a just in case benefit. So if there's a legal concern, it's there just in case you need it. And that's a great service. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
So we've managed to get around the room. We got 20 minutes left, and Bob mentioned that we in the past have done shout outs. I think today would be a good day if anyone would like to share an experience they've had with other members of the group recently. I'm going to encourage you to speak up.
Man, if there's ever 3 seconds in silence, I'm jumping in, people. Hey,
Go
I had
for
an
it.
opportunity to work with Scott, as he mentioned earlier. And I'll tell you, just simply being able to get to know people, the virtual opportunities to reach out all across the country and listen for those gaps and encourage one another and catch you and stay very present and real with people. We're going to really make some impactful changes in our businesses because of all of the varying components on this call. I'm encouraged by what I've seen happen in the last 2 months in the changes with Mycity. So with me, the shout out is Scott, you're continuing to do a great job. I'm looking forward to the improvements that process improvements in Lifetree Prosperity. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to be a lifetime supporter of Mycity as it evolves. Those are my comments.
I guess my comment is I just came from a 1 hour plus closing for Ed Cincinnati. so because he bought a home in his wife bought a home in Maryland, so he's now a Maryland resident. He sold their present home in New Jersey on Monday, was closing. We had a lot of fun with the city inspector the previous week, and now they just bought their home now. So I had a chance to help them out, make things easier. Because what most of you don't know is I was in the mortgage industry got in real estate in 1984 and got to the mortgage industry in 1991. So I was able to help them out today.
That's great. Whereabouts in Maryland is that?
It's in Baltimore County. I think it's called Owens Mills.
Oh, I've heard of that. Nice
So
one of those leafy suburbs that are so beautiful in the east.
It's an HOA, that's another fun aspect. But anyway, the point is, I was just glad to be able to be there to help give them ease and through the process, setting them up for what they needed for financing, and so they knew all the paperwork in advance of having to submit.
All right, thank you, Moshe. I'd like to take a moment just to give a shout out to Bob, because Bob is unrelenting. He's always trying to make this group better. We've gone through some like tech difficulties and he's still wrestling with that, but his commitment to the concept of great referral networking, it's unbeatable. And he will take the time to talk about, give you suggestions for free. His breadth of knowledge is amazing. And I'm glad to know him as a peer and as a friend. So that's my shout out.
And I would like to I'd like to second that, is that I love the fact that Bob, to me, bridges the gap between, and I'd say, like, my generation, is that he's able to kind of interface between the tech world and just plain speak, which makes it a little bit, for me, a lot easier to sort of navigate through some of these changes and the evolutions as the the AI is involved and you get all these changes and developments, and it's a lot of fun to try something new. Wouldn't be able to do that on my own. And an example is, we're working right now, is that I'm saying, when I go on Mycity, this is just me, when I go on Mycity and I want to make a referral, I find that I've got somebody I want to introduce to someone else, but when I actually log into Mycity to go put that in, if their names and information, contact, if it's not already in there, it becomes time consuming. It's hard for me to go ahead and coordinate to put those names in, get it set up, and then actually push the button and make a referral. So what I suggested to Bob is, for someone like myself, like I had just yesterday, I'm always doing that. One of the brokers in Zoom Business specializes in medical practices. He does like dentist office or therapy group, therapy specialists, physical therapists, that sort of thing. And so there's always a need for transactional attorneys at some point in a transaction. And I had an introduction to a transactional attorney that only specializes in medical practices, setting them up or contracts relating to those specific types of business. So makes good sense to say, you know, and nothing in it for me other than just to make that referral, you know, from one of the business brokers in Zoom to this transactional attorney. Hey, you guys, why don't you work together? You might be able to do some business and bring some value to a customer. So I want to make that referral through Mycity. All right. And what's the point? How would it benefit us? Well, maybe when they look at that and that referral gets posted on my LinkedIn, that may bring in some new expertise or some professionals that want to join our group and be here this morning at 8 o'clock or engage with any of us for their services. Maybe some of you are working, you know, like a dental practice and that sort of thing. Could be a good fit to bring in some new talent. So I was saying, Bob, maybe can we have a template or something where it's just easy to say, here's the person I want to introduce Bob to Joe, and here are the companies, and then have that input into Mycity and then post it on LinkedIn or your social media. That might be a good way to extend out, you know, the presence of our group. That's what I was thinking anyway.
Is there a place for all of us to enter something where they could give, like what you say, like I could create a little template for how it would be easy to introduce business power tools to other people. You could put a template up. Here's how to introduce. Here's what to tell your friends about Phil. Something like that. Is that what you're driving at?
Yeah, and actually, if you do that, I'd be willing to engage. So if you want to go back and forth to develop that, but just a simple template that all of us can use to say, I want to introduce this party to another party. Maybe they're not already in my city. The contacts aren't already in there. But if we can have that template and get it to Bob, now Bob, you've got the technical challenge of figuring out how to take that input and get it into Mycity and then post it on our respective LinkedIn's account or whatever the SEO marketing, whether Instagram or LinkedIn or whoever's doing what. But I think all I can tell you is every time I posted a referral on my LinkedIn, you know, introducing, you know, Burke to somebody, to a potential client, I'm getting 400 to 2,000 impressions. You know, people are looking at it. They notice that. And I think that, and then obviously there's going to be some people that say, hey, that looks good. Let me get a hold of Burke, or let me get a hold of Phil, and, you know, and the people that are making these referrals. It just increases our exposure to professionals.
Seems like what would be cool would be to have some kind of automatic email where you click on it. I want to refer Phil. And I click on it and the email, it's basically your email, but it sounds like it's coming from me. And I'd say, hey, Scott, you should meet Phil, because then all of Phil's information. And I would simply fill in Scott's email address and name, and then click send. And it would send your information from me to Scott. Makes sense?
That'd be awesome.
That's your challenge, Bob.
Pretty sure that's what Bob's working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing, what you were talking about, creating a template.
Bob's muted. Bob's trying to say somebody's muted.
Oh, okay, but just real quick, we can create an affiliate page for Mycity members that will include those highlights that you were just discussing, Burke. So people can get a little snapshot of what you do, and then you can also share that affiliate link with anybody else. Say, you know, I want to introduce you to this guy, and by the way, this is some of the cool stuff he's up to. We could definitely
I used to have a template. It was a Google Drive document. I think it was, that you would fill it out and then you could email it. So, you know, and my team is not afraid to do the work. So I used to, before all the technology stuff advanced, now all I got to get is the referral software advanced. And yes, an affiliate program is in the works as well. I just got to get some of these technologies working, and then we're good to go.
All right. Thank you so much. I noticed in the comments there are a couple of great tips. I'm reiterating, Linda's offering a free demo and an analysis of your Google presence, right? Is that correct, Linda? And then Kurt, you mentioned a video that is a great referral situation. Can you share with us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, basically Alan Holmes is working with Emily and myself on about a month running with Mastery of Connection, with Alan being our Master of Connections, and we call him MC Holmes. And so basically Burke had worked out with Alan to be on that show, and Burke did a tremendous job. So if you want to take a look, the YouTube video's there.
Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, that was really a cool show to do. I would encourage all of you guys to get on there and speak.
Fantastic. And then Betty, you look like you were on the verge of sharing something, so I did take note.
I know, and then I was like, that classic, you're on mute. So anyway, I reiterate that Bob's presence and his backing is invaluable, because I've been getting connections through the service that Bob offers, which have resulted in some very, very nice clients, including a woman that I'm starting with on Monday. So, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you on the phone, Bob. So I just want to say this is a great group, and I love the suggestions for developing more software. Go get them, you code guys. You know, wake me up when you're done. You know, again, if you need something written to blurb it or something, let me know and I'll chip in. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And we want to get to another level. And so much of this is just, you know, good minds putting ideas together. There were several ideas that came up today that we need to, you know, work on. So first fix the referral software, and then on to some other projects that will really help us get further down the road.
So a quick show of hands, if I was to create a Facebook group for Mycity, would you be interested in connecting and using that?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would, yeah.
All right. I think I'm not surprised.
It's a little environment that we can hang out in, as I say, out there together.
Uh-huh.
Do you think,
outside of the event.
let me ask you a question. I don't know enough about it to make a distinction. Do you think having a Facebook group is different or similar to having a LinkedIn group in terms of referrals and things like that? So that way, because that way, if you have a LinkedIn referral that you want to make to somebody, you can actually include the URL, and then that way they can look them up and see if that's somebody they want.
Yeah, there are definitely some advantages with Facebook, and you do reach a different market, so that, you know, people that will see it's not going to be exactly overlinking with LinkedIn, overlapping, I should say. And I've got a lot of experience working with Facebook, so I think it's a natural for me to endeavor.
And that's the other beauty of this group, is that with the natural endeavors of Scott on the Facebook platform and what Bob has been doing for, well, it feels like a decade or more that I'm aware of on the LinkedIn platform. When we get the language correct, it's really about language and articulating your value proposition. When that's correct, you just simply replicate that one to the other, and it's good is good, right?
Good is good. And great is even better.
Ah, see that part.
What's that expression? Good is the enemy of great.
Or good to
Well, I've got to jump off, everybody. Bob, Scott, everyone on the call, you had a fabulous meeting this morning. I've got to jump off and do my team call at top of the hour. So I'll circle back with both of you before the end of the day. Linda Blair, thanks for that. I got that quick catch. Thank you. And I'll reach out to you soon. Everybody have a great week. See you next week.
You too, Kevin. Great seeing you.
Thank you. All right, we still have 5 minutes, so it's open floor. Anybody?
My shout out to Bob is, you know, it's talked about before, but for all the years and all the service you did for our country and how far you reached within the military, I can never, everything else aside, I can never thank you enough for what you did and what you did for others. Appreciate it.
So if you know any veterans, by the way, an hour after this meeting, I run a veterans group as well.
You do?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you bet.
No, I tell you what, if you can send the information to me, I will be there. I've been wanting, I didn't know you ran that because that was, I think, you know, that's near and dear to my heart also.
Yes, more than glad.
Thank you. I mean that. I'll do my, yeah, it's at 1 o'clock. I'll do my damnedest to be there today and make a note of it for the future. I had no idea. Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah, Bob has that servant leader part, and it's a really great quality because
Bob, what's
keeps
the
you going.
focus of your veterans group? But when you're there, what are you guys talking about mainly?
You know, a little bit of everything. You know, the problem, my daughter worked for the VA. She's got a doctorate in psychology. And she worked for the VA in Redlands for between a year and 2 years. She said it was one of the hardest jobs she's ever had. And the reason for that is because there's something like 25 veterans a day, not a week, a day, commit suicide. So it's very, very difficult, you know, when talking to veterans. So I've run veteran groups for years. I used to sponsor the Christmas party for Westwood for a number of years. It's always very interesting. You know, when I went into the military, I worked for NATO. And I worked under Alexander Haig. And it's amazing. I had 1 year of college at that point. I was the least educated of individuals in that group. We had psychologists, we had PhDs, we had all these highly educated people, and it was amazing. You know, that was, of course, that was during, you know, Vietnam. Things have changed quite a bit, but you know, my daughter just worked a few years ago for the VA, and she was talking about how horribly depressing that environment is. And they're very regimented. That's the other thing I'd have to say, is that people are very, very regimented in how they think. So when you think about, you know, a group of people that don't want to be where they are, that's why there's so much suicide.
Well, if you want to, I don't know if you want to have a post, or if you want to promote that information or that link, feel free. You can feel free to put that on my LinkedIn as a post if you want to, for veterans, you know, for the group, or for an invite for that group or whatever. So I'm happy to have you post that on my LinkedIn if you want.
And I was part of a group that attended meetings in another organization, which I shall not name, but there was a group for veterans that used to meet on Wednesdays, and I used to attend that meeting regularly, so I can reach out to some of those people. Again, that was more of a networking group for veterans as opposed to a self-help group. So I don't know what your goal is here, but depending upon what I see, I may be able to provide some referrals for people to join.
I'm so enthralled with what you guys are saying. You know, the way that you get through all these pains that you have in your life is being able to talk. And that's one of the main reasons that I put this veterans group back together again, just so veterans could talk to veterans. So it's you know, it's just another way that we can help each other. And you know, there's 16 million veterans in this country. Veterans, 16 million. That's a big number. So anyway, that's my spiel.
By the way, belated happy birthday there, Bob. I heard you were 29 again.
Yes, multiple times.
With the curiosity and tech savvy of a 17-year-old, which is a compliment.
I'm never going to grow up. That's my whole thing. I never want to grow up.
Next time on LinkedIn, you can change your name to Peter Paul Friedenthal. Peter Pan Friedenthal, excuse me, not Peter Paul, Peter Pan.
Oh, both of them work.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, maybe.
Yeah, I used to go see Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Only half the people in this group knew who you just talked about.
Yep, amen.
That's right.
Everybody
The other
have a
half
great
can,
weekend.
can learn.
Yes, and
I
Yes.
got to meet Mary about 20 years 40 years ago in DC. I can't say she was so nice.
She's
in
a lovely
person.
person. Yeah.
She really
Rest
was.
in peace.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to thank everyone for their really just kind-hearted comments in the chat, as well as what they have stated within the group. It does my heart good. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I look forward to having one-on-ones with people that I haven't done so yet with. Have a great weekend, folks.
You too. Take care, everybody.
hey, have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
Progress. What life's about.